feel like the ice time was balanced a little bit more last night?
Honestly, I never checked.
No.
I don't worry about the ice time
Yeah.
being balanced, and I worry about the team. But no, when you look
Yeah.
after the game, some games I check it between every period, and some games I don't bother.
Yeah.
Just depends what the score is and where we're going at, and because sometimes you want to balance ice time, and you shouldn't. So
Yeah.
I just go with the feel, and you know the way it goes. I mean, I want to play Panarin 21, 22 minutes a night some nights, but the way the field of the game is, and when you're coaching the game, you're worried about the score and trying to get the best guys on the ice at those times.
I guess the better question is, was it intentional? And
No,
did you like
no.
how it
No, I mean,
worked out?
I like when you get your fourth line playing enough minutes, and I mean we only had one power play last night, so the penalty killing guys played a few more minutes than the other guys, but it was good. It was a good solid game, and it was a big win for sure.
With the second power play that you sent on with 59 seconds left, was that just a hunch, or was that something that you had decided beforehand you were going to do?
No, I mean a lot of times we look at it, and most part I like our top guys when they go out there for a minute and 20. Well, a minute and 20 turns into a minute and 50 very often because there's no whistle. So it was a minute gone in the power play. Why not give those guys a chance? They didn't have it too often, so I'd like to give them 45 seconds every time, but again, a lot of times you don't get the chance to change because they're in the zone and they're making their plays, and they don't come off. So in a perfect world, a minute and 15 would be good. 45 for the other guys would be perfect.
Right.
The kid line, let's figure something out with the kid line. It seems like when they're really on top of trying to be in on the forecheck is when they're playing their best.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a couple of the guys, and they were saying, Kaka was saying in Finland, or Alexei was saying in juniors, they didn't have to forecheck quite as much as they do at this level. So is that something that you feel like has been part of the learning curve for them?
Well, it's definitely a big part of it. And you see, when they have trouble, they're trying to make plays and they're turning the pucks over. I mean, there's two sides of it. I want them to make plays. I want them to have a lot of skill. But 7 out of 10 times you can't turn it over at the offensive blue line. I think they play their best hockey when the pucks are below the goal line. Capo uses his big body and skates out and, beats some people like that. Low cycle plays, putting pucks back to the point and going to the net. I think that's their best hockey. And again, they want to make those plays, but they're dangerous plays. Sometimes you're turning up and you're trying that fancy little play in the middle, and you know what happens then. We got 3 guys going that way, and they got 3 on 2 going the other way. So just be responsible. We always talk about managing the puck, and
When you see them hunting for turnovers and aggressive on the forecheck,
that's ideal for me. Yeah, and they have their best success doing that. We show them a lot of clips, trust me.
It sounds like it's sticking with them. So.
Yeah, and it's not, don't get me wrong, it's not them alone. It's just the way the game is today. Young kids want to make their plays, and you got to give them. It's like going to a casino and you play the odds, and when the odds are good, they're usually good below the goal line. They're not so good when they got back checkers coming back and they get those sticks in the lanes and then they go the other way. So.
For Sammy Blade, do you feel like a little bit of a reset here could be good for him?
Sammy's been fine. We wanted to get Kravy into a game, and Sammy's got to come out. So I think Sammy's played fine. I mean, he's frustrated. He got no goals, but he's over the last number of games. I thought that line's been fine. Yeah.
What do you think of Kravtsov last night?
He was fine. I mean, it was one of those games. It was a tight game, going back and forth. Sometimes I want to get some shifts up with the top lines on the right side. But the way we were checking their top guys and the guys that I got in those spots, I felt I was doing the right thing. So sometimes you want, but again, we know where he fits, Yeah. So we'll see where it goes.
So you see, like in game for certain shifts, you could swap him and Gaudreau.
Definitely. A Gaudreau or Vesey or whoever, it doesn't matter. I mean, we always pick on Gaudreau. All he does is do a good job for me. And trust me, I know what he is. But I'm saying he's pretty good player for us in the last year and a half.
With like, we've talked about this a bunch of times, but at 5-on-5, like, do you still feel like you're not totally convinced of what the right mix is yet? Do you feel like it's still something that you're trying to figure out over the course of the season?
No, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I know what our perfect lines are. Are they there right today? Maybe not. They might get switched a little bit again, but right now I'm happy with the way things are going with them. So, I mean, we got new players added to our team. Trocheck, You know, has it been a perfect mix with Panarin? No. Is Kreider and Meek have been a perfect fit? Well, they've been together for a long time, and they're so you know you might get back to that. We'll see. But I like the way things are going right now.
The speaking of Trocheck, that line as it is now, do you see that could be a matchup line for you, a checking line at some point? If,
I don't want it to be a checking line. I want it to be a full play both ways. I mean, there's too many good players there to be a checking line. You know, I don't see. I see no, but I see them being responsible. Yes, yeah, they could play a two-way game. I mean, Mika's playing with Brett. Well, Brett's not the most biggest checker in the world, but I think he's been working hard and playing harder. So.
Didn't he block a shot? I heard?
That was last week.
I saw him on the back check last night.
That was in Vegas. He blocked the shot. We don't want him blocking too many. Play good position. You don't have to block them.
What did you? Speaking of block shots, what did you see from Harper?
I thought he played pretty solid. You know, he was a big man out there. He had a real good stick, and again, Murph was happy with him this morning the way he played.
All right. What are your observations about Schneider? What is he doing better defensively that allows you to maybe give him more responsibility from time to time?
Larry, the kid grows every day. I mean, he keeps getting better and better and solid. And what's he got? 4 goals now for us, and you know, scored some big goals for us. But he just looks confident. He does the right things every day. He's a true pro at a young age, and you know, you always say, I wish every kid was like that. You don't want every kid the same, but he prepares himself. He comes to practice. He's prepared for practice. He comes early in the morning. He's eating the right foods. He does all the right things. He's in the weight room, does the right things, and he just, I think, you know, it probably came from when he's back home, his parents, the way they raised him, and he does the right things all the time. So, and it turns over. It shows in his game. You know, for a young player to play the way he's played, and you know, I can't remember once this year I come after the game and said, what was Schneid's doing tonight? You know, I don't remember being upset with his play any time this year or last year. He's just consistent, and you know, he doesn't try and do too much. Sees the opportunities, he jumps in the hole. So obviously really like the kid a lot.
All right.
Thanks, guys.